Hello students, I am Neeru James, your SST teacher, and in this video I am going to teach you about unemployment and organized and unorganized sector. We will discuss about these in detail. So here if you will see in the slide, you are able to see or you can easily understand that in primary sector more employment is available in the year 2003 as well as in year 1973. If you will see in your book on page number 25, graph number 3 is showing that the share of sectors in employment in percentage. Primary sector is sharing 60% and tertiary sector is sharing 22%. So conclusion is coming that employment is more than half of the people are employed in primary sector and less than half number of people are employed in secondary and tertiary sector. So though the share of primary sector in GDP has declined, but it is providing more number of employment to the people. So if you will see the data, is it fact that definitely the primary sector is providing employment or there is something different in it? We will see it here that by finding some questions answer, we will understand this that वाकई में is really primary sector is providing more employment or something different is happening in this sector. So here some questions are there for discussion. Why does primary sector still continue to employ maximum number of people? In India, there has been a change in the share of three sectors GDP, but similar shift has not taken place in case of employment. We have seen the graphs also on page number 25, second and third graph if you will see. Here share of GDP is also given as well as a share of employment is also given in percentage in year 1973 and 2003 and 2002. So production is increasing in the field of tertiary and secondary sector, but employment is still that shift is cannot be seen in the field of primary sector. Means primary sector is still available to provide maximum number of people employment. It is providing more employment to the more number of people. So some reasons are given here. Enough job opportunities were not created in secondary and tertiary sector, though the output from the two sector is going high. So reason is coming here that main reason is that unemployment and disguised unemployment in primary sector. अनएम्प्लॉयमेंट की डेफिनेशन की बात करें तो अनएम्प्लॉयमेंट एंड अंडर एम्प्लॉयमेंट दोनों चीज़ें अलग हैं. अनएम्प्लॉयमेंट मीन्स द पर्सन इज विलिंग टू डू वर्क बट डज नॉट फाइंड द वर्क. दैट सिचुएशन इज नोन एज अनएम्प्लॉयमेंट सिचुएशन. बट अंडर एम्प्लॉयमेंट की सिचुएशन थोड़ी सी डिफरेंट होती है. पीपल अपेरेंटली डूइंग वर्क. पीपल जो होते हैं हमको दिखाई देते हैं कि वो काम कर रहे हैं, बट they are doing work less than their potential. Such type of situation is known as underemployment, or you can say in other word disguised unemployment. This we can understand with the example here. First we will see that suppose one field is there and in this field 4 people are doing their work and they are busy in the work of development or production of crops. So each one is doing their own work, but none of them is sitting idle and they are doing their labor effort and their labor is divided. Means जो 4 people involved हैं work के अंदर उनको जो work है वो divide कर दिया गया है. ठीक है. After that suppose we will remove After that, we will remove some people, or you can say 2 people from the field and remain only 2 people in the field. Other 2 people are doing some other work They are gone to the city and doing other work. So the people who are removed, they gone to the work in urban area and trying to increase the earning of family. But what happened? The people who were doing work in the field, earlier 4 people were doing, now only 2 people are doing work. But what happened? Production was coming 10,000 किलोग्राम वीट फ्रॉम दैट टाइम. अगर प्रोडक्शन यील्ड जो है उस फील्ड से 10,000 kg वीट आ रहा है, तो आफ्टर रिमूव करने के बाद 2 पीपल को सेम प्रोडक्शन अगर आ रहा है, तो दैट सिचुएशन इज नोन एज डिस्गाइज्ड अनएम्प्लॉयमेंट. मीन्स दीज पीपल व्हेन दे आर वर्किंग, प्रोडक्शन डज नॉट इफेक्ट. व्हेन दे आर नॉट वर्किंग, दैट टाइम ऑल्सो प्रोडक्शन इज नॉट affecting. So such situation is known as disguised unemployment, and that is why what happened, number of family people are involved in agricultural field and they are not able to give their full potential. In this sector, primary sector, people are employed more than the required people, and some people, if we will pulled out, that time also production will not affect, neither it will increase and neither it will decrease. Second point is coming, thus in this sector people appear to work but they are working less than their potential, and that situation is known as underemployment. Then these people are existing, दिखाई देते हैं कि वो काम कर रहे हैं, but उनका जो कंट्रीब्यूशन है काम के अंदर, अगर हमको उनको हटा देते हैं वहाँ से फील्ड से, तो प्रोडक्शन जो है उसके ऊपर कोई इफेक्ट नहीं पड़ता, और इसलिए जो जीडीपी जो है वो प्राइमरी सेक्टर के अंदर हमेशा लेस रहता है, बट वी कैन सी मोर नंबर ऑफ पीपल आर एम्प्लॉयड इन दिस फील्ड. सो दिस सिचुएशन इज नोन एज अंडर एम्प्लॉयमेंट, एंड दिस अंडर एम्प्लॉयमेंट वी कैन नॉट सी ओनली इन द प्राइमरी सेक्टर, दिस कैन बी सीन इन अदर सेक्टर्स ऑल्सो, such as there are some people who are doing work like as plumber, electrician, painters, and hawkers are also there. Whole day they are spending to sell their things or to do work. Sometimes they are getting work, sometimes they are not getting work. Sometimes what happen, if you will take the example of in rainy season, maximum number of such type of people are not able to get a job or to earn their livelihood. So they can be come in the category of disguised unemployment, and this is the reason that GDP is not increasing from primary sector, but that shift is moved towards the tertiary sector. The tertiary sector and secondary sectors are contributing 3/4 share in the GDP, but primary sector is sharing only 1/4 share in GDP, but it is providing maximum number of employment to the people of India. Okay. Now we will discuss about division of sector on the basis of working condition of employment, or you can say on the organization. So here it is divided in 2 categories. One is organized sector and another is unorganized sector. In your book, if you will see, here 2 examples are given to understand it very easily. These 2 examples are of 2 people. These 2 people are, one is Kamal and other is Kanta. If you will see, Kanta works in an office and she attend her office from 9 to 5:30, 9:30 to 5:30 p.m. She is getting regular salary. End of the month, every time she is getting her salary on time. She is having facility of provident fund also. She is having paid leaves also. Medical leaves are also there. Medical allowances are also given to her, and her job is also regular. And she got, when she appointed for the job, she got an appointment letter to do the work. Other hand, if you will see Kamal, you can see, read it in on page number 30. I am telling you verbally only. Kamal is working like as a shop helper in a shop. From morning 7:30 to 8:30 he is doing continuously. He is not getting any allowances for the medical. He is not getting any paid leave. If he is taking leave, it means that that day he will not get any wage for that. His working hours are also more, and he did not get any appointment letter also at the time of appointment. These are the two situations, and easily you can understand that Kanta is working in organized sector and Kamal is working in unorganized sector. So if first feature you will see in organized sector, so in this sector the activities are carried out following the rules and regulations of government. But in unorganized sector, people are not following the laws as well as guidelines of government. Okay. Now, if you will see, on the basis of term of employment, in organized sector, people are having fixed working hour, and they are given overtime wage if they are doing some overtime work also. At the time of appointment, they are getting appointment letter, and that appointment letter is all the details are written in that appointment letter. They have the fixed salary also. Other hand, in the term of employment, if you will talk, in unorganized sector, people do not have fixed working hour. They have to do overtime, but that overtime is not paid for them. They are not getting any appointment letter, and irregularly they are receiving their salary also. Sometimes at the first of the month, or 10th of the month, or 15th of the month, means their time for the receiving salary is also not on the fixed date. गवर्नमेंट कंट्रोल की बात करते हैं तो ऑर्गेनाइज सेक्टर इज रजिस्टर्ड इन द गवर्नमेंट ऑफिसेज एंड इट इज फॉलोइंग ऑल द रूल्स एंड रेगुलेशंस विच आर introduced by the government or formed by the government, or you can say various laws are there. They are followed by these organizations. रूल्स की अगर हम बात करें तो कौन से रूल? मिनिमम वेज रूल, यू कैन से शॉप एंड स्टैब्लिशमेंट एक्ट के जो रूल्स होते हैं उनको वो फॉलो करते हैं, ग्रेच्युटी एक्ट को फॉलो करते हैं. दे आर गिविंग फिक्स्ड नंबर ऑफ आवर फॉर वर्किंग, एंड in this sector people are getting secured jobs also. Same thing unorganized sector, all these facilities are not available to the people. They are out of the control of government, plus as they are out of the control of government, they are not bound to follow the rules and regulations of government. People are not getting paid leaves, they are not getting sick leave, they are not getting any medical benefit in unorganized sector, and in organized sector all the social security benefits are given to these people who are working in organized sector. Organized and unorganized sector की अगर हम बात करें तो we cannot say that these people are only found in village area. These people are found in urban areas also. अर्बन एरियाज के अंदर कारपेंटर, गोल्ड स्मिथ हो गए, स्मॉल फार्मर्स हो गए, वीवर्स हो गए, ऑल दीज पीपल आर रूरल एरिया के अंदर कारपेंटर, गोल्ड स्मिथ, स्मॉल फार्मर्स एंड वीवर्स जो हैं वो रूरल एरिया के अंदर. अर्बन एरिया के अंदर पीपल जो अनएम्प्लॉयड होते हैं या अनऑर्गेनाइज सेक्टर में काम करते हैं वो कौन से हो गए? कैजुअल वर्कर्स हो गए, स्मॉल इंडस्ट्री वर्कर्स हो गए, ड्रैग पिकर्स हो गए, या फिर हेड लोड पे जो वर्क उठाते हैं पीपल वर्क करते हैं, दैट टाइप ऑफ पीपल. देयर वेजेस आर इरेगुलर, दे आर पेड लो सैलरी और लो वेजेस, एज वेल एज दे आर वर्किंग more hours. So this situation we can see here that people working in organized and unorganized sector, and always people are willing to do the work in organized sector because organized sector is providing job security as well as regularity of work, fixed time for salary. There are so many benefits are there, medical help is given by them, then Sundays are paid, holidays, other holidays are also governmental holidays are paid. At the time of appointment they are providing appointment letter also. In urban area, small workers, industry worker, casual worker, construction site, rickshaw puller, rag pillar, all these are need to protected because they are working in unorganized sector. And how these people can be protected? Government can provide them interest at low rate so they can start their small business or small shops. Government can give them support for marketing of output, as well as government can help them to provide raw material for the working in small industries or small manufacturing work, and these people can work in that way and increase their earning or have the earning regularly. Now we reach at the end of the chapter and we will discuss the classification of sectors on the basis of ownership of asset, and it is divided in two parts, private sector and public sector. The economic sector can also be divided on the responsibility of delivery of services also, or you can say it on the ownership. If you will talk about in the public sector, in public sector government own all the asset and provide all the services to the people. पब्लिक सेक्टर के अंदर जितने भी असेट्स होते हैं, जितने भी प्रोडक्शन वर्क होता है, किसके अंडर में होता है? गवर्नमेंट के अंडर में होता है. सारे डिसीजंस कौन लेती है? सारा कंट्रोल किसके हाथ में होता है? गवर्नमेंट के हाथ में. एंड दिस एग्जाम्पल कैन बी हियर, यू कैन टेल द एग्जाम्पल इंडियन रेलवे or you can say post office. These both are in the public sector. It is other thing that now our government is trying to give the railway, some part of railway to the private sector also. Private sector की बात करें, so the ownership of the asset and the delivery of the service is in the hand of one individual or few individuals, you can say. Example, Reliance is working here, as well as Tisco Industry is also there, that is Tata Iron and Steel Company Limited. These both are owned privately. Activities in private sector are guided by the motive to earn profit. Means the main motive of private sector is to earn profit. And public sector के motive की बात करें तो क्या होगा public sector का motive? ये लार्ज नंबर ऑफ पीपल, मास नंबर ऑफ पीपल को सर्विस प्रोवाइड कराता है, और इसका जो मेन मोटिव होता है वो क्या होता है? पब्लिक वेलफेयर. द पर्पस ऑफ पब्लिक सेक्टर इज नॉट जस्ट अर्न प्रॉफिट, बट गवर्नमेंट इज रेजिंग मनी थ्रू द टैक्सेस एंड दैट मनी इट इज यूजिंग टू प्रोवाइड डिफरेंट टाइप ऑफ सर्विसेज टू द पीपल, एंड दीज सर्विसेज आर एट लो कॉस्ट. अगर प्राइवेट सेक्टर ही सेम सर्विसेज अगर हमको प्रोवाइड कराएगा, that will take more money than the government. But government, we are paying taxes to the government, and for that government is providing services us at a low rate. Okay, here you can see some public sectors which are here. Hospitals are there, some libraries are there, some shopping centers are also in the field of public sector. Railway is also there, as well as post office is also there. Private sector की बात करें तो Reliance, Tata and some different kind of banks are also there, such as HDFC, ICI, IDBI. All these are banks in the control of private individuals or few people. Now क्वालिटी ऑफ पब्लिक सेक्टर की हम बात करें तो पब्लिक सेक्टर इज प्रोवाइडिंग मोर जॉब सिक्योरिटी एज वेल एज इट इज जनरस फॉर द बेनिफिट्स ऑफ द पीपल. देन private sector is providing more opportunity for the promotion of companies' growth, and these jobs tend to pay higher. They are paying high wages to the people, and private sector is less affected by bureaucracy. Means it is private sector is following less number of rules and laws of government. Here then the some activities are of the government has the support in the private sector, they may not continue for the production or business unless government encourage them. And these activities are such as supply of electricity, supply of water, supply of gas cylinder. All these are in the hand of government because government want to provide these facilities at very minimal cost or very low cost. There are large number of activities which are primarily responsible for the government. Government is providing health and education facility. These are the some examples which are coming in a public sector. If you will see that our government is making so many plans and so many policies. अभी अगर न्यूज़पेपर पढ़ेंगे तो राजस्थान गवर्नमेंट ने इंदिरा गांधी रसोई पॉलिसी स्टार्ट करी है, एक स्कीम स्टार्ट करी है. एंड अंडर दिस स्कीम गवर्नमेंट, राजस्थान गवर्नमेंट इज प्रोवाइडिंग फूड at very minimal cost to the marginal people, or you can say to the casual workers. These workers are getting food only at 8 rupees for one day's diet, and that is only to promote, to help these people, to help their health as well as to help them economically also. Government is also need to pay the attention on the different aspects of the human development also, such as safe drinking water, housing and other facilities for the poor people. Some steps have been taken by the government to provide the food, such as in a school government is providing food to the people. Then government has provided employment. Narega we have discussed already earlier also. So the people who are vulnerable, such as agricultural laborer, small farmer, artisans, or if you will see in the urban area, there are number of people who are vulnerable, who are working in small scale industries, working like as casual worker, street vendors and rag pickers. These people can get the help from government and can improve their livelihood. So your chapter is end here. Hope you have understand it. Thank you.